And finally, I want to conclude with this. One of my key policies as your next mayor is to make London safe again. And you can read all about this policy on my website. I go into it on detail, and I want to tell you exactly how I plan to do this. And I've spent months and months researching how I can make London safe again. And I've had to make some difficult decisions. And a lot of people in the world are saying that you should defund the police, including our current mayor. And I disagree with that strategy. I think we need to invest in the police and give them more training protocols. And I want to tell you exactly how I plan to make London safe again as your next mayor starting on May 7th next year. First of all, I want to support the Metropolitan Police with more situation-based training protocols designed for the officers to role-play a wide variety of situations so they are better equipped to deal with the ever-changing landscape of policing. This includes knife crime on the streets, speaking with teenagers that carry knives, speaking with teenagers that have been involved in violence. We've got to support the Metropolitan Police so they know how to deal with a lot of the actions that happen there on the police, from domestic violence to violent crime to everything. They have got a very difficult job. We need to invest more in this police force. Second, I want to enforce a zero-tolerance policy for knife crime and possession. Zero tolerance for knife crime and possession. Everyone needs to know it's no longer acceptable to do that. And I want to ensure that all offenders are prosecuted to the letter of the law with no exceptions. Third, I want to use less invasive approaches by adopting new innovative solutions to promoting a knife crime-free city. There are solutions that aren't invasive, where you can scan groups of people to find out if knives are being carried. We can use this on a mass scale, and we can provide better results than our current mayor. Fourth, and this is a very, very important one, I want to pursue new community-led crime prevention strategies. I want to address the cause of crime. That's the problem that no one's talking about here. What's the cause of these crime? Rather than simply focusing on the outcomes of these crimes. And I want to launch new programs that offer our young people positive pathways, positive options in their communities, and address the issues that they face every day, like gang culture and the exploitation of our children through county lines. And we know that's a big problem right now in our communities, and we've got to address it on the ground level. That's going to prevent the violent crime and the knife crime. Next, I want to digitize the Metropolitan Police by creating a paperless, data-driven solution that brings cost reductions while also employing better technology and advanced AI solutions to solve crime. This will really make a massive difference. A lot of our officers spend chunks of their day on paperwork. We can literally streamline that process, digitize it, and we can get boots back on the ground and get these police officers in the street with a police presence that's going to help us solve crime. And lastly, I want to implement an ambitious diversity representation strategy in our Metropolitan Police. Our police officers need to represent the communities they police in everything. They need to represent them in their races, their religions, their genders. They must proportionally represent the communities that they police. This will solve a lot of our problems. The communities need to know that it's their own people policing them. That's the only way that we're going to have this dialogue, that we can all solve these problems together. And so that is my strategy on making London safe. If you want to know more details about my policy, you can go to brianformayor.london. I have details on every single one of my policies, every single one, on how we can get London back to work immediately, how we can put our health first, how we can put science first, how we can put education first, how we can put family first, which by putting family first is also going to solve some of these problems in our communities. When these children don't have family structures, even single parent structures can be incredible. My mother raised 3 children as a single parent, as a divorced mother, and she did a great job. We can support these structures, but the family structure is crucial when it comes to supporting these children. So very important part of my policy. And again, we need to give these young people new alternatives. When London is not working, these children don't have opportunities. Getting London back to work means getting children and their parents back to work, which means money is coming in, food is on the table, there's opportunities for entrepreneurship, there's jobs for these kids. We need to give them options. And this is all part of my Transform London 2021 plan of attack. Again, I've spent a lot of time on detailed policies. I am confident these policies will work, but they all need to be done together. We need to get London back to work. We need to make London safe. We need to put science first. We need to put our health first. We need to put our family first. We need to put transport first. It all works together in a 360-degree strategy. But I am confident that this new leadership will solve the problems that we're currently facing. Because what we see now, and you can see by these statistics, is we see a mayor that has failed us. We see a mayor that year after year lies to us. He tells us he's going to solve the problem. He tells us no more are our children going to die on the streets from knife crime. And yes, more die every single year. Violent crime goes up every single year. And what does he say about it? He blames the national government. That's all he does. He blames others for his problems. Real leaders own their decisions. They own the results. And they show ways forward to solve those problems. And that's what I plan on doing as your next mayor of London. I appreciate all the support here. I appreciate all the energy from people coming around the world. And I want to say one final thing. The problems we face as a city in London, they're serious problems. We have come to a point because this city has been run into the ground by our current crop of politicians. It's going to take very serious effort, not just from me as your next mayor of London, but from every single one of the citizens of this city. We're going to have to work together. I'm going to need your help in your communities. I'm going to need you to be looking around that community. I might need you to have a word with one of the teenagers on the block that might be straying. I'm going to need you to have a word with one of the teenagers who might be in fear that day, or one of the teenagers who might be thinking about carrying a knife, and you're going to have a word and say, guess what? There's new solutions. There's other opportunities. We are going to solve these problems together. We're going to support our police, and we're going to lead this city in a new direction. And I'm confident that with my policies and with all of us working together, that we can make this city I love world-class once again.